Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, which is an unboxing video. Today I'm unboxing the Fisher-Price Soothe and Snuggle Otter. And what prompted me to get this is a funny sort of convoluted story.
I saw an advert on Facebook for this Evora koala, which supposedly, amongst other things, could help you to get to sleep. I liked the look of it, but because in the past I have come across scam adverts on Facebook, I thought I'd better go and have a look at Trustpilot just to make sure that it was legit. And when I went to Trustpilot, I found that it had 80% one-star ratings and some absolutely awful reviews. And it was clear that it was a scam. And on further investigation, I found that it was a knockoff of an original product by Fisher-Price, the Soothe and Snuggle koala, which had originally been sold as a baby soother. And then I came across other adverts on Facebook, one by Evora, but lots of other adverts by other companies that were selling another so-called therapeutic product called the Relief Otter, that basically had the same functions as the koala but was in the shape of an otter instead of a koala. And I found out that again this was a scam product, a knockoff of a toy by Fisher-Price. But unlike the koala, which doesn't seem to be sold by Fisher-Price anymore, the otter is still for sale. And though this is sold as a baby soother, I thought, I wonder if it does have any therapeutic value for an adult to help you sleep. So I went to my local toy store and picked one up. And in this video, we're going to unbox it, demonstrate it and review it, and then we're both going to try it out and see if it actually does help us get to sleep.
This is a slight departure, though, from the normal things that you get, because this is a baby toy, isn't it?
Yes, but as I say, funny enough, because of that scam ad, I actually saw this in a different light. Because the scam ads were saying, this is very relaxing, blah, 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 blah. I thought, oh yeah, it is, isn't it? It looks really nice. Never thinking that the original product, the real product, was brought out for a baby.
Yeah, and a very good quality product it is as well, the real product.
Oh yeah, it's got good reviews. And Fisher-Price do tend to make good things anyway, because Fisher-Price is a sort of brand of Mattel.
Yeah.
And Mattel's been around for donkeys and is renowned for making very good quality products. So when you see these in shops, they're in Try Me. And you can press the button on the belly and you get a short demonstration of the breathing mechanism and a short excerpt of one of the tunes.
The tunes are they're very soothing, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
The quality of the tone is not sharp, and it's gentle, and the breathing mechanism exceptionally quiet. Obviously, of course, this is all meant to get a baby to sleep, isn't it?
Yes. But looking at it through the eyes of a possibility of something that's relaxing for a child or an adult, yeah, worth the try. So, before unboxing this, we'll have a very quick look at the box. It says Rhythmic breathing motion, 30 minutes of music. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
This is interesting. It says keep calm and cuddle on, sensory. Hear 30 minutes of music, white noise. Now that's interesting because white noise has actually been used by adults before, hasn't it? To help you sleep.
Yeah, it's used in adult products to help people sleep, yeah.
Then it says, this is odd, womb.
Woo.
It just says, here, 30 minutes of music, white noise, and womb.
Ah.
I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Very interesting.
All right, it says womb breathing or heartbeat sounds. How can you have a womb sound?
Maybe this is from the baby's perspective when the baby's in the womb and
It's
they're trying
very
to
odd
create that environment, so it wouldn't mean anything to an adult, perhaps. But
Feel deluxe fabrics and rhythmic motion. See soft light. It's got volume control, a light that can be on or off, motion that can be on and off, so that's the breathing mechanism.
right, so there's a lot of customization to get it right for your baby.
Or yourself.
Or yourself, yeah.
And it includes 4 AA batteries. Okay, so let's get this out the box.
Yeah.
A little bit of tape down the side there. Instructions. That's interesting. This is odd. It's got a sort of perforated part that you can... It looks like you can open it by pulling on the arrow.
Yeah.
And then you get a hole here. You peel off the cardboard along the perforations so that you get access to the instructions and this, and you don't actually have to cut that sellotape there.
Ah, right.
Never seen anything like that before.
Nice idea. It's a pity you didn't notice it before you took the sellotape off.
It is really, isn't it? So we've got some string here. Something I like about this is you're not seeing much plastic, are you? They're using a lot of cardboard and string.
I think they're using twisted paper to make the string as well, aren't they?
It's nice to see that another company's followed Hasbro's lead and moved over to cardboard instead of plastic in the packaging.
The small things, they're easily done.
And we've got some sort of twisty thing here, some sort of lock.
Which is plastic.
That's really minimal though. That's the only plastic on all of the packaging. Don't think you can complain about that.
We'll give them 9 out of 10.
And he's our otter. So he's got Velcro on the back. Oh, that's nice and clear. So you've got a really clear panel there. I've got speaker with a minus sign and a plus sign. So that's obviously for sound level, volume level. We've got a button with a musical note sign. So that's obviously for music. We've got... Now, this is a bit more difficult to understand what it's on about. We've got something that looks like a fan, a heart, a baby, and Z, so we'll have to look that one up in the instructions. Then the next button is obviously showing the breathing mechanism, because you've got an arrow.
Right.
On the otter's tummy. And the last one is obviously a light. So that's for having the light on or off. There's only this one that I'm not sure what it's on about.
So one's heart. The other will be white noise. The fan will be white noise.
Ah. Okay, so let's have a look at the instructions. Okay, so I'm going straight to the button where I wasn't sure what the icons meant.
Okay.
And it says, press this button to choose 30 minutes of soothing sounds, including nature, snoring, that's the Zs,
All right.
heartbeat, that's the heart, and white noise, so that's a fan. So the sort of like embryotic looking baby in the womb seems to be nature.
Ah.
Odd.
Well, those would be the womb noises then.
Ah, that must be it. Womb noises, yeah. When it says 30 minutes of these, it doesn't look like you can choose music or white noise. It sounds like they're all mixed up, doesn't it? Let's just press the button and see what happens. So we'll press the button. Oh, there's the womb. That actually sounds like a real womb noise when I've seen things on TV, you know, when people are getting scans
it's like
and
blood
stuff.
flow, isn't it? It's like the sound of the flow of blood with each heartbeat. But the sound's not coming from the heart, it's coming through the blood flowing through the veins.
So I wonder if that'll just play for 30 minutes. Or unless you press the button again, maybe.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, so let's press the button again. Right, when you press it again, it switches it off. So we'll press it again. Ah, yes, now it's doing the snoring.
Yeah. That's quite nice.
So pressing it again will switch it off. And then pressing it again, we should get the heartbeat. That's not a heartbeat.
It's white noise.
Oh, that's white noise. So press it again, it'll switch it off. And then this should be the heartbeat.
Very good. Reminds me of the Pink Floyd track.
So those are all the sound functions, you know, other than music.
Yeah.
What do you think of those, Paul? Do you think the white noise would help you sleep?
I think it would, because the volume's controllable as well, obviously.
Oh,
It
yeah,
probably,
I forgot about that. Yes.
Probably came on a mid-volume setting there, so you could probably have it up or down. I like all the noises. They're a quality implementation of those
They
noises.
are, aren't they? Yeah. So we'll have a listen to the music now.
Okay.
So I'll switch the heartbeat off and I'll switch the music on. So if I press that again, it should stop, and then if I press it again, I wonder if it'll move on to the next track.
Maybe, try it.
So I'll move on to the next track, and this time we'll try altering the volume.
Okay.
So I wonder if you sort of press and hold. So that must be full volume.
Yeah, I think you're right, it's full volume.
So I'll try turn the volume down now. So you can have it really, really low. That's nice that you can have it that low.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because if it was like next to your head.
Of course, it would be loud, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So next, I think we'll have some music with some breathing.
Okay.
Turn the music back up.
I think that's fully volume, actually.
Right, so it eventually finished that tune and it's moved on to another one now.
And there's about 30 minutes of
music.
Different music, yeah. The breathing mechanism is quiet, isn't it?
It's very quiet, yeah.
Just hear it, but it's quite a relaxing sound itself.
So we'll try the night light.
Okay.
Now you can't really see that because we'd have to switch the lights out in here, wouldn't we, to see it better.
Okay, should we try dimming the lights?
Yeah. You can see it now.
So you're getting a little sort of glowing tummy light.
Cute.
That's nice, yeah. And subtle. Oh, it's pulsing itself. It's it's going up and down, isn't it? The light level.
So the soothing light will stay on for 15 minutes and then go off.
Okay.
And the music will stay on for 30 minutes and then go off. And the breathing mechanism, that will stay on for 10 minutes and then go off.
Okay.
So as I said at the beginning of this video, the impetus for getting this was that there were some scam fakes that copied this.
Quite a lot.
And were selling it as something that could help a person relax and get to sleep. Well, in fact, some of the claims were ridiculous, I thought. Like they were saying it could cure panic attacks, and making extreme statements like that. But I have had a few comments from people who have this Fisher-Price Otter, breathing otter.
You mean an original one, not a
fake?
fake?
Like this.
Like this. This is an original.
And they said that they actually do find it quite relaxing, and someone else said that they find that baby soothers are actually quite effective for aiding sleep.
I can imagine this one's quite effective in that way from how you've reviewed it so far. It looks quite good.
So I trialled this last night and I didn't find it as good as some of the other things that I've got.
That had been made specifically for adults to relax with?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll be doing like a little bit of a comparison with those later in the video, but we're going to do another update in the video tomorrow because you're going to trial it tonight as well.
Yeah.
You're going to try out the white noise, aren't you?
Whatever you want, I shall try it out.
I just thought that was the one that you seem most keen on trying.
So what did you trial last night? Was it the songs?
Everything, really.
Everything, yeah.
The funny thing was, the light I found functioned quite well as like sort of like a torch for finding things, particularly for sort of switching it off.
Right, okay.
Or for switching one of the other buttons on. If I put the light on, I could see what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that was quite funny. So yeah, it was quite good as a night light. And it only stays on 10 minutes.
It goes without saying that the fakes of this, the fake copies of this, would actually be hopeless in every aspect that the adverts say that they're good at.
Actually, from what I've read, I don't think it's consistent what people receive when they go to these scam companies. There seems like a lot of variation. What they're receiving is not the same product. So I was reading one today, a recent one just put on today, and the person said it didn't even have a breathing mechanism.
Huh.
So they vary in degrees of badness, but they're always going to be substandard than the genuine article because they
grossly substandard.
Yeah, I really doubt that any of the fakes are going to have the full functionality that this has got with all those buttons at the back and the different different sort of timings of them.
And of course, the quality on every measure will be poor.
I will say this though, some of the things that people said that they didn't like about the scam one in the Trustpilot reviews are actually aspects of this one.
Is that right?
For instance, people were saying it wasn't cuddly. Now that's one thing I noticed last night. It's not something you can cuddle.
Right.
It is quite hard, really, because it's got this breathing mechanism. Now, and they also said that the arms were empty. They haven't got any stuffing in, and that's true of the original one.
Right.
So some things that they didn't like about it were actually in the original. The plastic goes right up to the top.
Yeah.
So even the head is hard.
It is meant for a baby, and a baby wouldn't be cuddling it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I thought last night. I thought, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't, you can't sort of shove it under your head or something.
Right.
Like some of the things that I've got, you can really snuggle up to them.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But because this is for a baby can't cuddle things. Obviously, it's just to lie next to the baby. And I think that's why they've not bothered to make it soft. However, if you really like this, I don't think it would be difficult to add stuff into it.
No, I mean, the arms could be stuffed quite easily, couldn't they, by picking the stitches?
And yes, and I think that I'm sure you could pick some stitches and put stuffing round here as well. I mean, what it might mean is you might not see the breathing mechanism as clearly, but I don't think
it is quite dramatic anyway.
Yeah,
so it could be covered up to some extent.
I don't think that would be a problem.
So what you're talking about is really changing it to be more suitable for an adult rather than a baby.
Yeah. But I think if somebody got one for themselves, you could sort of customise it a bit. You don't need to have any great skill to take some stitches out and put some extra stuff in it.
Or just push a few socks in the back or something like
Socks? So yes, that was one thing. It was not cuddly. The night lights didn't sort of make me feel sleepy or anything, but I found it quite useful. And I tried all the sounds. The white noise turned low. What I found was, I thought, well, it's better than nothing, but I've got other things that were better for me. The heartbeat, it's like you can hear a heartbeat, but you can't feel it. Now, some of the things that I've got, you can feel a heartbeat.
Feel it as well.
And I think that's much more effective.
And the cuddly at the same time.
Yes. The snoring sound, that didn't do anything for me at all in terms of being relaxing. The music, whilst it's quite pleasant, I don't think it's something that would help you sleep. It might help you wind down a bit, but not actually go to sleep. Not for me, anyway.
Right.
So that was my feedback, and we'll see what yours is tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. So I'm trying it on the white noise, okay.
Yeah, and anything else that you care to try. So we'll get Paul's opinion in just a moment. So, Paul, you've trialled it now.
Yeah, I trialled it with the white noise on and the light on.
And how did you find it?
Well, he was a bit bony. Not much padding in there. So he's not really cuddly and huggable in bed. But the thing I noticed about the pulsating light was that when the lights are off in the room and you're sort of half and half, it really did light up the smiley face and the sort of closed, happy eyes. And I found that quite comforting.
That's nice. So, presumably you had the white noise on the lowest volume setting.
Yeah, and it was still quite loud, but I found that you could effectively have a finer control over the volume by rotating the Otter around or covering him with a blanket or something like that, and you could control it and get it just right, the sound. And I did find the white noise relaxing, and I have experimented with this before. What I find about white noise close to me when I'm getting to sleep is that it tends to, for me, it has a sort of damping effect on thoughts going round your head. So but with the Otter, a couple of drawbacks I found was that when the light went off, it went off all at once.
Yeah, it would have been better to
it didn't
dim gradually,
would,
wouldn't it?
And also the white noise seemed to go off all at once, and I was really half and half at this point, and I thought I'd actually knocked it off because I was actually moving on my pillow and moving the otter a little bit, and I noticed the white noise went off and it was abrupt, and that would have been better if it sort of decayed gradually.
You know, if we ever wanted to do a project on this, would it be possible to do something with the volume where you could like have a microcontroller controlling the volume?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, and it would be reduced gradually, decay gradually. Same with the light as well.
Same with the light.
It's absolutely possible, and I don't know why Fisher-Price didn't do that in this
well,
toy.
because it's for a baby, they don't find that it's really necessary with a baby.
Maybe, but they could have done it anyway. It wouldn't have harmed, would it?
More cost?
I don't think it is. I don't think it would be
Oh, it
more
wouldn't
cost.
be?
No, it would just be a few lines of code.
So, as I said I was going to do earlier, I brought a couple of products down that help me sleep.
Mm-hmm. Those are the Meow Ever
And
the Furble.
Purble.
Yeah.
Just before I give a brief summary of those, I just want to mention the Try Me function of the Otter, what happens after you've started using it.
All right.
So, you know, it had this Try Me function where you press the button on its belly.
Yeah.
And you got samples of music and breathing.
Yeah.
So after you've been using it and you press the button, don't know if you can see there, but the lights come on. Was the light the last thing that you had on it? I'm just wondering if...
Last night?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had both the light and the white noise on, and the light went off first, and then the white noise later on.
Right, so I've switched it on and it's just showing the light. And if you press it again, it switches it off.
Right. Is that like some sort of alternative on-off button then, the belly button?
Yeah, it seems to be.
Right. So you don't have to mess around with the switches on the back. I wonder if it can be used to turn, if you've got the sound on, for instance, and the light on, if you can use it to turn it on and off. Have you tried that?
I'll just try that now. We'll put the music on. And the breathing.
Yeah. And the light.
And the light. So I've wondered if I press this, if this will switch it off. Oh yeah, it does. It switches everything off.
And if you press it again?
Right. So it seems like when you press it on, it goes back to the last thing, the last settings.
Yeah, so I think the way they intend you to use it is use the switches on the back to set up what you normally want.
Yes.
And then turn the whole set of features on and off with the belly button.
Right. Interesting.
See. Yeah, that's a nice feature.
So I'll finish this video by just talking very briefly about a couple of things that I find helpful.
Okay, yeah, the Purble and the Meow Ever.
So this is Meow Ever. It's a Japanese product.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it from Amazon Japan. It's really easy to join Amazon Japan and use it. It's all in English. The shipping's quick, you know, just how much you're paying in terms of like custom duties and import tax. All that is calculated before you pay for it.
Right, so you don't have any nasty surprises.
No. I've used to buy a lot of things from Japan. And this is aimed at adults. I think it's just called a cat cushion, Meow Ever. It's got a mechanism in it on the back here. And when you stroke it, it purrs. And it does sound like an authentic cat purring. I think it's a real recording, you know. And it's also got a heartbeat. If you hold your hand on it, and you can actually feel it. It's not a sound, it's a sensation of a heartbeat.
Right.
And that's very relaxing. It is very soft. It's got all this cushioning in it.
Oh, it's got a heat pack in as well, is it?
Yeah, and it's got this gel pack. You pop that in the microwave for a couple of minutes and it stays warm for quite a long time because the padding on it, it means the heat comes out quite slowly.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's probably the best therapeutic relaxation product for adults to help you sleep or just help you relax.
I know when I've tried that out in the past, I would rate it highly as well. If you're using it while you watch television, for instance, it doesn't interfere with your enjoyment of the programme. It's very subliminal, the relaxation, isn't it?
Yeah. And the other thing I've got is Purble. So this was aimed at both children and adults. And it's supposed to help with anxiety.
Yeah.
To help you calm down. Because when you pick it up, its heart starts racing. It's got 2 different settings. You can have it on the first setting where you can calm it down more quickly, or you can have it on a second setting which takes it longer to be calmed down. And it makes various noises, like upset noises, but you can only hear them if you go right next to your ear because they're very quiet. And you calm it down by stroking it, holding it, or pressing the buttons in its ears. But it'll only calm down if you're sort of stroking it and holding it in a calm way. Like if you were pressing one of the buttons very, very quickly, it would start racing the heart and complaining again.
So it would agitate it?
Yeah, so if you're agitated, it's agitated basically. So when you eventually calm it down, it'll start to purr, and it has a vibration throughout the body. And I find that really relaxing. And I actually put it on when I go to bed, and I have it like just on the mattress, and the purring sort of travels through the mattress. Right, yeah. And I do find it is helpful to relax you, to get you to go to sleep.
I seem to remember the vibration on it as well. It's not like a phone vibrating or anything like that.
No, it's a
cheap toy. It's very subtle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got like a sound envelope to it, which is it's very subtle.
The one criticism I would say of the Purble is, if you try and use it as a sleep aid, is that you can't just sort of have it next to your face or something, because the minute you move it, the heart starts racing again.
Yeah, big drawback, really, that, isn't it? Unless you're careful with putting it back up on the shelf.
Well, what I do is I just have it like on the bed, but not right next to me. So it, after a few minutes, after it's been purring, it just powers down. But I have seen criticisms of it when people have got one like for a little, well, one person had one for a little girl, and she wanted to sleep with it, and it helped her calm down when she was upset. But she moved slightly in her sleep.
It would get,
and it actually upset her and woke her up and made her cry again. And a mother was saying that completely defeats the object.
It does.
So it's a pity that the manufacturers had that oversight and didn't put like a setting on it where it would go through the cycle once and then switch off and wouldn't switch on again until you reset it.
Manufacturers seem to find it very difficult to get something 100% right.
It's like they don't actually try it out, isn't it? It's like, oh, they've got this idea, but then you don't.
You're left with that impression, really.
Yeah. And if you'd like to know more about Meow Ever or Purble, I'll put a couple of links in the description below to the unboxing and review videos I did of them. And I'll also put links to Purble and the Fisher-Price Otter on Amazon in a description. So if you do decide to purchase one of these, I would be much obliged if you use that link, as it helps the channel. And finally, before we close this video, I think we may very well in the future do a project on the Otter.
That would be interesting.
Because it would be interesting seeing if you could improve it to work better as a sleep aid for an adult.
For an adult, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of the cosmetics, sort of the stuffing and the electronics, like you will be doing that. But that's it for this video, folks. Hope you found that useful and interesting to some degree. Thanks for watching as always, and hope to see you next time.